I'm Delaney Nato.
And I'm Sarah Liberty.
And we wanted to do a video in honor of Lori Grant moving on to new adventures.
Lori has held an important role at ORHS and the preschool education program, impacting many throughout her career.
We talked to people to hear about how Lori has impacted them.
We hope you enjoy.
My name is Lori Grant, and I'm the program director here at the preschool education program and the child find coordinator for the Oyster River School District. I work for Stratford Learning Center, and I'm contracted by Oyster River to provide the preschool services here. And I also teach the child development course that's offered here at the high school.
How long have you been working here?
I think this is my 19th year. It's my 19th year at Stratford Learning Center, and I started at Stratford Learning Center in Somersworth. Not doing this job. I was a child find coordinator in Wakefield, Milton, Farmington, Oyster River, and I think that's all. I might be missing one, Middleton, but Middleton was part of Farmington at the time. And so I spent different parts of the week in all of those districts. And then I moved into just doing child find for Oyster River and doing the program director job. So when I moved into this position, it was probably 17 or 18 years ago, but I don't exactly remember when that happened. But around 17 or 18 years. So, and we weren't here at the high school. We were at Moheramed or Mastway. We kind of moved back and forth between those two buildings, and then we moved here to the high school, which was so exciting. I love when that happened. That's a good memory. That's a very good memory. Forgot to mention that one. That was exciting. I think that was like 12 years ago, and I will never forget that. It was when Howard Coulter was the superintendent, Meredith Nato was the special education director, and we got the two classrooms here. The high school staff here was so receptive to us being here, cautious of us being here, not because they didn't want us here, but they were just concerned, I think, about the integration of little ones with high school, the high school population, and how that was going to work out, and that was totally fair. I think we were too, but it's been wonderful. And we had a big community build for the playground, and that was great. We had lots of people turn out to help us do that, and we had lots of people donate food, and we had donuts and pastries and coffee, and I had parents driving tractors and all these other kinds of Tonka truck, I don't even know what you call them, but different kinds of excavation equipment out there. And
your favorite part about working here?
Easy question. So my favorite part is coming to work every day and seeing the children. I'm one of the lucky people in the world who knew from an early time in my life that I wanted to work with little ones in some capacity, and it's what I love most about my job is working with the young children, for sure.
Yeah.
They make me smile every single day. Even on the hard days, they do something that makes me smile.
Hi, I'm Davianne Moriarty. I'm a paraprofessional in the PEP program, and Lori is my boss.
How do you know Lori?
I've known Lori for 25 years, maybe. We had kids that played basketball together, and we're in school together. My youngest is a year older than her oldest. So we've done Cub Scouts, we've done Boy Scouts, we've done sports, and then I actually started working for her.
What was your first impression of Lori?
Well, that's a funny story. I was just remembering, I actually met Lori many, many moons ago. She showed up at a friend's of my house to drop off a knitting project, and she was probably in her low 20s. She breezed in with a very pregnant belly and a perm and introduced herself, and that's when she was working at UNH in the Child Development Center. And then because she was working there, her name would come up occasionally with friends, but I didn't actually know her, but that is the first time I met her.
Do you have any favorite memories?
Well, I do laugh now at the perm one because she won't like that one. We've made it through a lot of different things over the years. One of the funny memories is I was married to a man who traveled a lot. I totally broke my right thumb and I couldn't brush my hair. And I showed up at a basketball game with a brush and just went, "Can you just brush it and put it in a braid? It'll last for a week." She's like, "Of course I will." So that's one of my funny memories. But we've I have plenty of memories of working for her and just looking at each other and starting cracking up when the kids say something that's technically inappropriate, but you just can't not
Hi,
giggle.
I'm Sarah Gallagher. I'm a junior at Oyster River High School.
How do you know Lori?
I took her class last semester, and we kind of just had like that student-teacher bond.
Yeah. What was your first impression of Lori?
That she was really like anxious about teaching like high schoolers because like obviously she teaches like little kids, but she said that she always got nervous, but she did a really good job.
I
teaching
am
the
Barb
class.
Milliken, and I teach French at the high school.
What was your first impression of her?
Lori is the most warm, selfless person that you would ever meet. And I think it's really interesting that the kids call her Lori. I'd love to ask her why, but I don't think she could have it any other way than that, because I feel like she'd think that Mrs. Grant would be too formal or putting on airs. I think that she's very, very real.
Do you feel you have grown throughout your time here?
Professionally or personally?
Either.
Yeah. Professionally, I feel like I've made connections with people in the community, and that's been, I guess that's personally too, but professionally it has been with all of the local childcare programs in other districts as well, because that was part of my job initially. It was not just in Oyster River, it was in Farmington and Milton and Wakefield and other communities through Stratford Learning Center. And so I got to meet a lot of people in the early childhood profession, and that was really, it was really fun. And then moving into this program director position, I feel like I grew a lot in a leadership role, and learned to, I learned a lot about myself because I never really saw myself as someone to run a program. And I've really liked doing that in ways, and I really questioned myself in a lot of ways, and wondered if I was able to do that. But I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed doing that in a collaborative way. I feel like that's who I am as a leader. You still have to lead, but I like leading in a collaborative kind of way. And personally, I feel like I grew up here. I feel like I was a young little girl when I started, and went through a lot of personal ups and downs throughout the years, and some significant challenges over that time in a lot of different ways. And like we all do, illnesses and deaths in the family, and other things that have happened, and had so much support from people in the community, and made so many connections, and gone through lots of changes in leadership and changes in my own staff, and seen students come and go, lots of young ones come and go, high schoolers come and go, and maintained many of those relationships, and that's been super special.
Yeah.
So, all of that.
Do you have any favorite memories that stick out?
Probably too many to count, but most of them are related to things that just happened most recently. The ones that happened a long time ago, I still remember like they were yesterday, but also the ones that happened more recently. I guess the ones I think about most are the ones that relate to adventures and going on adventures with children. Have been the favorite part. I had some children who say to me almost every day, "Can we go on an adventure?" and I started doing that with some children, and that just for them means going down the hallway, or going to visit the nurses, or checking the mail, or going to the library to return a book. I mean, it's so simple for young children. But as I started to think about that and talk about that, those were highlights for them, but it was highlights for me too, because I loved that one-on-one time with children. And it got me thinking about adventures in my own life, which sounds so silly, but it's what got my husband and myself thinking about what's the next adventure for us. the other highlight for me personally was having my kids here in the high school. I didn't see one of them very much at all because I wasn't allowed to see him very much at all, and I had to respect his space. And that was okay, because that's who he was. And the other one I got to see all the time, and it was just a really neat time in my life then as well. So being a part of my children's life in very different ways because they were very different children. But yeah, so those were memories. And then just other relationships I've had over the very many years that I've been here, which feels like
I'm Kara Sullivan. I'm an English teacher at the high school here.
What's been like your favorite memory or a memory that comes to mind with her?
Well, I have two, actually. One selfishly for me,
Yeah, that's fine.
which makes me almost cry. But I have two sons. My oldest son that she evaluated never ended up. He went to PEP for a little while as a, I guess I don't know if they call them typical students or model students. Anyway. And then my younger son came here, and my younger son was very aware that I was here. And he couldn't understand why he couldn't spend a lot of time down here with me. And that didn't work when he was supposed to be in PEP and I was supposed to be teaching my classes. So I could hear him cry sometimes because he wanted to get down here. And the memory I have of Lori is that she was able to comfort him in a lot of ways. And one of them was that he was super into killer whales. He was into orcas. And she found out that he was into them. And she printed off a picture of an orca. And he had that picture forever and loved it. And it just made him feel like more comfortable coming here. And I think it's just an example of her. I know it seems simple, but it's just an example of her finding out some connection with a kid and being able to make them feel comfortable. So we had that orca picture on our refrigerator forever. And he's 14 now, and he'll even say to me, "Oh, there's Lori. She's the one who gave me the orca picture." So
How did you decide that now was the time to move on?
Yeah, well, my boys have grown up. One of them, neither of them live locally anymore. They're both out of the Northeast, and my body is telling me that these winters in the Northeast are not for me anymore. So I'm looking for a warmer home, and beyond that, my husband and I just talked a really lot about what's the right thing to do, and we just talked about what and when, and we went and visited a place a lot of times, and just kept talking about it, and I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do. So we found a place that we really liked, and a home that we really liked, and all of a sudden it was ours, and that's how it happened. It was a little bit on a whim, and a little bit the stars aligned, and here we go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's next for you?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. My husband has a remote job, so he's going to take that with him, and I will figure it out when I get there. So I will probably take the summer and not have a job. I'm not one to not work, though. I don't do that. I need to learn to do that a little bit, but I don't even want to do that, though. So I wouldn't mind taking the summer and not doing that. But so they do have a pool near where I live, so I may take the summer and do that, and then try to find something in the fall. But I will do something. I just don't know yet what I will do, but it's something. Stay
Do you have
tuned.
any parting words for Lori?
I'm gonna miss you. Come visit sometimes.
Obviously, I'm going to miss you. You have really impacted my life, and I wish you all the best in the world.
I'm going to miss her like crazy when she retires. She's been an amazing boss, a delightful friend, and I'm not sure what she's going to do without me because I also take care of her. She needs reminders to take care of herself, but yeah, I have so many memories.
Yeah. Kind of what has been your experience, I guess, like working with her
that she's very thorough, she's very competent, she's very compassionate to the parents she works with, and even when I know she doesn't like us as employees because we're not doing it the way she wants, she's always on our side.
Yeah. And then, do you have any like parting words, I guess, for Lori?
I'm still not really forgiving you. You're leaving me here all by myself, and you better text often.
There is a gigantic thank you to the Oyster River community for being so kind and supportive all of these years. I've loved living here, I've loved working here, I love the people, and I thank everybody for all of their support and their kindness and their friendship.